There's a sort of unrest I feel is intrinsic to peace, an anxiety laden within tranquility, as though each moment is hanging on the nothing that awaits it. There's only so much of it one could be expected to endure before the gentle yet grating wind between the leaves becomes the sudden, satisfying snapping of a branch. After enough serenity, I was all but forced to ask myself, should I cut off my left index finger? So ask I did, and what I found was larger than I ever anticipated. First, I had to know if the process was even safe to begin with. As it turns out, the physicians of My Health Alberta claim that fingertip amputation is among the most mild amputations one could experience, with full recoveries, save the regrowth of the finger, taking place in anywhere from a couple months to only a few weeks with proper care. In fact, nearly all the care towards the finger takes place not in some hospital or at the hands of a professional, but comfortably at home. Clearly, it's not any risk of damage that would stop me from removing my own finger. But now, I naturally had to ask myself what I stood to gain, if anything. This brought me to the research of one psychologist, Mark D. Seary. While one may associate certain bad experiences with trauma or long-term psychological damage, Seary actually found that adverse or stressful experiences can actually be beneficial in the long run. In fact, Seary's research found that a life without significant challenge could cause just as much stunting of emotional growth as a traumatic or overly painful life. Thus, Seary proposes a sort of Goldilocks zone of challenge without destruction. In other words, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And in the case of loss of limb, it appears that Siri is absolutely correct. People like Amy Mullins, who was born with a condition which resulted in the amputation of both legs, was made fun of as a child, and is now a model, actress, and, with the help of modern prosthetics, athlete. She's raced in the same league as those with biological legs and found success, and now thrives as a Paralympian. Take Zion Clark, who was born entirely without legs and was bullied relentlessly in his youth, who is now a successful motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and, at the time of writing, undefeated fighter in the UFC. With such incredible successes so closely tied to the loss of limb, I began to wonder if I was even asking myself the right question in the first place. Clearly, the loss of a finger, even such an important one as the index finger, wasn't too extreme for the indomitable human spirit. What if it was never a matter of making do without a limb? What if the loss of limb was an active improvement? Maybe this shouldn't be just about me and my finger. Maybe all of America would be better off if we all cut off our index fingers. So I began to look for that world. As it turns out, modern prosthetics could make that dream a reality. With significant advancements in current day electronics and powerful spring technology, athletes using prosthetics are beginning to challenge and even surpass Olympic standards. As such, we're seeing committees banning athletes who, just a few years ago, would have been seen as disabled by those same committees. If we put that kind of ability into the hands of every American, we could have a case for a very powerful country. And where better to look for the funds to do something so grand than from the country itself? It's no secret that this administration has been a divisive one, leaving our country more split than it has been in some time. But according to the newly implemented Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, it saved roughly $55 billion in just its first month. While DOGE has been a source of significant disagreement among Americans, the money it's saved could provide the funds necessary to unite the people once again by providing them all their own prosthetic finger after they chop off their natural one in a grand, patriotic act of togetherness and self-improvement. With this, my research showed me that what begins as a search to escape peace may actually lead you not just to the very peace you were trying to avoid, but the peace of everyone in the US. All it takes is everyone in America cutting off their index finger to save the country from itself. Thank you for watching.